Hey guys, welcome back. And before you see that the title says final video, no, it's not gonna be me dying or some stuff like that. And no, it's not a YouTuber apology video either. This video is gonna be addressing exactly why I'm gonna be gone for a little bit and to, well, say thank you for the support I've seen on a lot of videos. Now, first off, why am I gone? Well, if you guys did not know, I'm part of Army and, well, I'm getting deployed. And this was a volunteer deployment, and one I think that is very virtuous to fight for. Now, I do want to give specifics, but I'm not in the position to give specifics because literally they will break into this house and, well, take me to prison if I do. So in general, during this time, I probably won't be able to make as many videos as my terrible upload schedule already is. I did get a laptop, and I really do want to try to get maybe 1, 2, or maybe even 3 videos out during my deployment. Or if I can get it to once a month, that would be also amazing. But whether time permits for that, I do not know. Because there's another big reason I'm going on this deployment. The biggest goal of this deployment is not financial gain, promotions, or looking for tabs or medals. It's to better myself as a person, both physically and mentally, and even a bit emotionally. This was the main reason I went into basic training, but I think I've lost kind of sight on that, and there was a couple aspects that never did get fully defined or fleshed out. So let's start off with the obvious. I personally want to go to the gym. I am skinny, like skinny white dude. I mean, my name's Kevin. You gotta be skinny, right? I really want to hit the gym because from basic I gained 15 pounds, but I really want to get some insane growth here. And I've been playing a couple of my buddies to hit the gym twice daily, and we get to choose our own portions. And I'm gonna be eating a lot while I'm over there. But there's one thing that would definitely help with video making in general. And one reason I'm doing this deployment is to help with video making. The biggest thing I need to work on is form of pride or self-confidence. It's definitely a weird dynamic. For example, if I'm playing a video game, I get myself immersed very easily and very quickly, but then when in real life, I'm very quiet, reserved, because I don't think anybody is going to give me the time of day. And unfortunately, that has applied to a lot of aspects of my life. And I think I'm definitely starting to see it seep into my video making, if it hasn't already. I think self-confidence is one of those things that can come to a lot of people pretty naturally, but for me, I'm not sure why I struggle with it so much. It's funny because I recall in basic training, I remember those times where you're hitting the hardest ruck of your life, and I recall very vividly the 8-mile ruck that we did back from the M320 range. It was during the middle of the day, it's hot, miserable, you have the Heaven Hill, and I remember I just kind of broke it. I just started smiling, smiling crazy, laughing it, having a good time, and it made that ruck so much better. And to have that same confidence or that same mindset, I think would increase all aspects of life. Especially like my self-discipline about making videos. And before you say, wow, this video is unscripted as hell, it's because I don't want to script something like this. This is something super emotional and super big that I feel like scripting it would make it more disingenuous. Yes, it can help with organizing thoughts, but I want to be very truthful and very out there. So I kind of want to talk about one of my biggest reasons for joining the Army, which was to really kind of make myself super uncomfortable. Becoming comfortable being uncomfortable. And man, oh man, it's an understatement how brutal that environment was. But it's one of the most enjoyable environments I've ever been on. Maybe in the moment was not, but then like looking back on it is so unbelievably fun, and I would hands down in a heartbeat go through basic again. So I wanted to leave you guys with like one of the biggest stories and biggest growths I've had, and show that even though I've made that giant growth, I want to see myself grow more. And maybe it'll help apply to you guys in certain situations. I always lived with the motto, don't stay down. It speaks a lot more of a person who keeps getting back up. Maybe they keep failing, but if they keep getting back up, it kind of really shows something bigger than success. It shows tenaciousness and tenacity, which in some hands can injure yourself, which I would argue is what happened to me. Now, in the infantry training, the final ruck you do in basic, not your infantry training aspect, is the 10-mile ruck. And for me, I was skinny, I weighed 140, 145, and I had a 60-pound ruck on my back. And let's just say, rucking was not my thing. I was good with military tactics, small squad-based formations, but rucking is easily one of the most brutal things you can do as a human being. And I will say that fully confidently. I was chugging down water, so much water. Each Camelback holds about 3 liters of water, and for that final ruck, I was so nervous, and I remember hearing drill sergeant say, water, drink water. I was so nervous that I took that advice a bit to the extreme. And in the end, I think we calculated it was about 15 liters of water for 10 miles, which is just ridiculous amounts of water for a human being. And if you did not know, drinking too much water flushes out your whole body, and I basically collapsed. Like, it was weird because I was mentally still there, but then just collapsed. And I recall in that moment, I'm hearing the drill sergeants yell, screaming at me to get back up. I've never felt so exhausted in my life. So, even though I tried to get up a couple times, my body was just not having it. And, well, I got thrown in the van, and a week goes by, and I get recycled. Now, recycled is a pretty rough thing where you're going to be sent back to another company to continue your training because you need a little bit more time. It's not necessarily the worst thing in the world, but I was sent back about 5 weeks. 5 weeks may not seem brutal, but what makes the Army doable is not having to think. And it's a very infantry answer, and I will take credit, it is an infantry answer. You know, with all the dumb stuff you're going through and the brutality of it, not having to think, you get by day. But for 5 weeks, I wasn't allowed to participate in the training in my new company. With all the stuff that I had going against me, you know, a new company where I didn't have any camaraderie with them, they didn't particularly like me because I was part of the original company that was the honor student. I had drill sergeants that didn't know me. It was not the greatest introduction. And what further made this worse was for 5 weeks, I would just sit at ranges doing nothing. But man, oh man, did it do a number on my head. Thinking is easily one of the most dangerous things in the military. And no, this is not the propaganda me saying that. It's genuinely super dangerous. Like, for example, going out to drills like Louisiana, what made that bearable was if we were doing activities. That's why just sitting at ranges and not doing anything is the worst part of the military, because it's boring and all it does is cause you to think, which is definitely something I'm nervous about for this deployment. And this was the lowest point in my life by far, and I was 20 at the time. But the point of this story is I was able to get up from that, and not only was I able to get past infantry training as a whole, meaning I got through all the AIT, but I also was able to finish up with a 26-mile ruck, which, by the way, my previous company, I heard they only did 22. So, you know what? I'm taking credit for it. So not only was I able to get up from my point of defeat, but I was able to even overachieve in the end. And it sounds strange to say today, but I almost enjoy rucking. If it's ever brought up as a type of exercise we can do at my company, I'm always straight going for it. And you don't have to be in the military to have a redemption arc like this. For me, this was my big redemption arc. I'm home to relive that in a different country, deployment with my buddies. So I did want to say, the whole point of this video is not to just say why I'm going to be gone. I want to say I do really appreciate this community of subscribers, viewers that I have. You know, I could care personally less about my subscriber count. The thing that really made me proud of this YouTube channel is the interaction within the comments, especially for the Evolve video. The Evolve video still gets crazy amount of views on this channel, but seeing the comments talk about how people miss this game, you know, it definitely makes me a little bit emotional. So again, thank you for being supportive on this channel. And I'm hoping that throughout my deployment, I can continue to interact with the audience. Because, trust me, those are some of my most enjoyable parts about making YouTube videos, is seeing people put comments down. Maybe all comments aren't, you know, gonna be the most nice, but it is great having good philosophical talks about ideas and games, certain stuff like that. So here's my big question. What do you guys want to see from the future of my channel, especially when I'm getting back from my deployment? And, well, I have something for you guys too. What would you guys like to see different from yourselves in a year from now? What would you guys like to see to work towards that? Oh no, I don't even know if I have enough B-roll for this video. Well, I'll see you whenever I get my next video out, and I'll try to post updates on my YouTube channel. Because trust me, I do still want to see content being made from me. Plus, it'll be somewhat therapeutic to make videos. Well, as I usually say to everybody, make sure you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in a bit.